Need Lily to get a little rally here, please. Please. Okay, so Ozempic 2020, 2031. I still don't know what do you do if you've only got a few years left. It's kind of not great. That's something you gotta have to study with a lot of statistical analysis, Ruben. That it's pretty difficult to do that kind of thing well. Okay, so there's Ozempic, 20 billion revenue. I think that'll grow continuously. But then you have the patent expiry here. Now, manufacturing the stuff is pretty tough. So I think they're relying to some extent on the manufacturing prowess, including the ability to manufacture these devices, the injectable devices, and they have patents on the injectable devices. So that's kind of the secret there. Yeah, you can find these files on my GitHub.
Wonderful.
Okay, so if you just run off Ozempic, oh wow, this is all fucked up. And just assume that they'll never be able to sort of like get a drug after Ozempic, which is awfully hard to do, by the way. That it's basically all over after Ozempic. It's still along? That's pretty impressive. Is this the Danish share, or is this the J34461? B shares are 10 for 1. Right now, okay, so that would be a short, 385 per share in Danish krone versus the $600 stock price. So that's the conservative assumption. If they can't do anything to get out of the Ozempic patent problem. Not patent problem, but generic problem. All drugs go generic eventually. And they need to do something. Now, on the flip side, they also do generate, they will generate income, like all companies. And they'll have some time to decide what to do with that income. They can do stock buybacks. And of course, they're going to be working on other GLPs that they're going to hope will replace Ozempic. Just like they replaced Victoza with Ozempic, they're going to replace Ozempic with another drug. But that trick doesn't last forever. $585 right now. Yeah, 2.6 trillion krone. And I'm getting 1.9 if they don't replace Ozempic. They're going to try, obviously. They're going to try everything to do that. And my growth numbers could be conservative. I mean, this class may grow even further. But eventually, there will be GLPs that are cheap. And will people really want to pay more for just a little bit more weight loss? They've got Cagri, and they've got some other stuff they're tossing around. Kagri is one of their main efforts to try to replace Ozempic. I think Lilly is doing a better job architecting a portfolio than Novo, but Novo is also not very public with everything that they do. Less disclosure. I don't think Vikings are short, no. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, semaglutide's going to keep growing. It's a great drug. One of the best drugs ever. So amycretin, CagriSema, higher doses of semaglutide if you need the extra push. They have this other once weekly. They're not talking much about that one. They have that cannabinoid drug that doesn't work. They have a different amylin there. I mean, on one hand, they're kind of the GLP goats. On the other hand, every drug gotta die one day, man. Every drug gonna die someday. I think Rigetti will go to like 2. It's definitely part of the game. Lay's, I actually covered Lay's last night with this huge liquidity somebody wanted out at like 280 or something, 270. So I got out and I rotated into more Rigetti and more IonQ. My dad wasn't Kyle. My dad was kind of a no medicine kind of guy. I don't do much in industrials, Davis, no. I mean, over the course of my career, of course, I've looked at like Deere and Caterpillar and Illinois Tool Work and the defense companies and stuff like that, but it's not my preferred space. Hi. I think IonQ is going to 5. Honestly, think IonQ is worse than Rigetti. Or it's just as bad. There's no real reason IonQ should have a bigger market cap than Rigetti. It's not like it's better run or something. At first I thought maybe it was, but I don't think so. They've kind of been able to lie to people to sort of get them to think that IonQ is better than Rigetti, but it isn't. They're both trash. I work at a software company called DL Software. Okay, so let me see if I can get something from clinicaltrials.gov. For Novo, I'm just gonna look for Nordisk. Okay, I wonder if I can sort, to change clinicaltrials.gov a little bit. Sort by newest first, nice. Oh, this is really nice. Okay. I don't know if Nordisk is the right thing to search for. I think I might have to search for Novo Nordisk. Nordisk just might mean something in Danish that I don't know. Yeah, let me try this. Nordisk. Novo Nordisk. Okay. So you know how many okay, it's roughly the same amount. All right, whatever. Okay, here's a code. NNC 06620419. Ooh, what could it be? First in human for overweight and obesity. They don't want to say anything about this new candidate. Could be in a patent somewhere, you know? Could it be a new GLP? We don't know. Could be the next big thing. You know they're working on it. So what I'll do is I put that in here. NN 0662. Obesity, phase 1. And how does this thing work? Is this an injection? It's in Lincoln, Nebraska. Who wants to take a trip? Get that insider info. Need that insider. Sub-Q once a week. That's definitely a GLP, right? It's gotta be. One of you guys, give me that info. I need that info. Need that info. Okay, we'll have to look at their patents shortly, but that's a mystery drug. Here's another mystery drug. It's a kidney damage drug, so I don't think this is the same. This is 0519. 0519, kidney disease, phase 1, and then 0519. Someone's saying this is a GLP? Might be. It's a GIP. They got a whole Mounjaro Reddit. Okay, so this is their Mounjaro. Interesting. This is their GLP. We have another one of these, which is 9541. Okay, here's another one, 0174. They got so many of these. They're rushing. Oh, is that Kangrelotide? Is that Kangri? That is Kangri. Angry Kangri. Long-acting amyloid analog. Kangrelotide. Oh, 363 in type 1. Type 1 is a very different disease, as you guys may know. Okay. This is a JAM3 monoclonal. Never heard of that. JAM3. It's an NNC. I'm short QUBT, QBTS, all these stocks. 0638. These guys are really cooking. These are funny. These are like barcodes or something for other products. It's another amylin. AVXL already put out all their data. I don't know how much time they have for some of these drugs to get approval and change over the whole franchise by 2031. Not going to be easy. I think they're probably going to try to rely on their capacity. I mean, how many generic companies will it take to take a bite out of Ozempic, right? It's like the whole damn generic industry has to come together to make a generic Ozempic. They don't have the capacity. Especially if they lower the price a little. Whoa, this is a triple? They got a triple combo? Okay, 519 looks like son of Ozempic. And it looks like that's the successor. But I have to get closer to this story and see exactly what the scenario is. But they should be able to offset some generic loss. One of these is Amylin 355. Yeah, generic Ozempic is coming. Hope I didn't have dyslexia here with NNC 0650 and 0560. Oh, they're doing a CagriSema versus tirzepatide study. There's a war from Eli Lilly and Novo. And the war is good for both companies. Is 194 just Cagri? I keep getting this wrong. No, it's 174. So 194 is in play as another replacement for potentially Ozempic. And watching these clinicaltrials.gov new entries is pretty important. We'll put them on Godel, actually. Okay, some of these are now starting to get older, so probably not that important to keep looking at these. But we'll run through a couple scenarios of like, what would it look like for Novo to try to replace semaglutide with one of these drugs, and when potentially they could start to market that, whether it's Cagri or one of the other drugs. You know, I'm sure if you ask Novo, they're hoping to grow the franchise throughout the semaglutide expiry. Like, who cares about semaglutide expiry? We're gonna have 8 new drugs FDA approved by then. I don't know. It's always easier said than done. Okay, let's see if we can find out what some of these are. Okay, somebody said this is an NLRP1, so that's NLRP3, excuse me. NLRP. Okay, that is the Ventis Therapeutics drug. 6022. That would not be obesity. Now let's look at this private company. Who are these guys? Vent02. This is the Novo. Okay, that was Vent01. Nephrology, cardiology, hepatology. Ventus. These guys are in Mass. A lot of biotechs out around there. Interesting targets. When was the last time these guys raised? Maybe they didn't need to because they got so much money from Novo. 70 up front from Novo, that's like a whole round. 140 million C, Series C. SoftBank Vision and RA with QIA and Andreessen, BVF, Caston Cormorant, whoever FTQ is, and a couple other guys. Ventis. Let's see if we got it on our list. There it is. Series C, 140, SoftBank RA, 2922. I'm assuming these guys will want to go public at some point. Rigetti spaghetti. Okay, so we found out that one. Now we keep going. We just keep going until we know every drug. So this is not going to be part of the... and we have this here for NLRP. So I'm just going to put this as the new NLRP. This is called and NC 6022. NLRP 3 is like a target that a lot of pharma got excited about, but it seems to me like it has not lived up to its potential. But you never know. Okay, let's try another one. NNC 0560. Nothing. 0650. Okay. Type 2 diabetes. Trying to see if there are any clues here. What could it be? These guys say it's a GLP. They just put it out too, it looks like. This study. Subcutaneous and intravenous. That's normal in these phase 1s. No way to tell. All right, well, we'll just keep on track of that. Let's try 0560. Aha. This is for NASH. MASH, NASH, whatever. And it's partnered with Ubi. Okay. So that doesn't count in our goal to understand just how does this company get around their patent expiry. Okay, let's try another one. NNC 0487. Okay. Says it's a GLP-1 amylin. Kind of like a two-prong molecule. Amycretin. That's this guy. Grinder. We've looked at it. You want Grinder on Godel? Okay, so a couple more here. Let's try NNC 0537. Something about heart failure, so that's already tells you it's probably not related to GLPs and obesity, but this is an insulin. A new insulin. I would not include that. I would not really include this either if all we know is it's heart failure. Okay. How about 0194? This is FGF21. Now, there have been other FGF21s. I already looked at this one, 0638. This could be the amylin. Oh, somebody said it's an amylin. Rigetti 810. Oof. Okay, LXR Alpha. Allegedly. Okay, Cerna. Oh, this is an old. This might have been discontinued. I think they might have killed this one. also check that. I don't know. It's probably not too easy to do finance with ADHD. I mean, you could do sales. Oh, okay. This is Ange PTL3. That's another cardiovascular, really. Kind of had that here, but now I have a name for it at least. Okay, so they have like four-ish less well-known replacement strats, and Kangri is the main replacement strat. All right, so I'm just going to put, for now, protein cells. Pretty funny. I should remove this from here. Just don't want to mess up the model. Should be able to run tests on models. Yeah, I didn't know much about LXR. I know about FXR. Okay. So we'll call this son of Ozempic and then 0519 for now. And obviously this is subject to change. Top 5 people who know what I know. Well, I would just look into the top hedge fund people. There's a book about one of them, not Bad Blood, that's about Elizabeth Holmes. For Money and Blood, For Love of Money, For Love of Blood, something like that, about Wayne Rothbaum. But then I would just look at the top people who manage money in biotech. Trying to think of a smaller player that doesn't necessarily have a big fund. I mean, usually the cream kind of rises to the top and you start managing a lot of money. Okay, so son of Ozempic, in phase 2 right now. They'll do phase 3 in 26. Need me? Do phase 3 in 27, and then they'll have 4 years maybe to get it approved. Maybe they could just sort of keep the franchise going, which is, not such a bad thing. They can keep half the franchise going from peak. That would give you a price target of 705 versus the reference price 585. 21% upside. Seems reasonable. Okay. And you'll notice, and this is kind of what should happen, you'll notice that my fair value estimates in biotech are around the same price as the stock. And it doesn't mean that these are the be-all end-all. Again, you should not use models as monoliths. But I think that this tells you about efficient markets to a certain extent, right? These are big companies. Total market cap here, 1.5 trillion. It would be weird if they were wildly undervalued or wildly overvalued, right? So it's kind of good that, our framework is giving us roughly what we expect. And in most of these analyses, you kind of get the pipeline for free. But there's subtle differences. Like for Lilly, we don't really think about, I guess we do, the replacement of Mounjaro with eventually new peptides. And then for Nova, we kind of assume that might look uglier than it looks for Lilly, and maybe that's not true. So all these subtleties are important to chew and weigh in your mind and chew on. But at least on these calculations, you have a 15 to 21% upside for all three stocks, which is basically zero if you sort of calibrate it. The Merck, I had a negative 8% for Merck, and I have to refresh that and see where we stand there. But basically, we're saying, within a margin of very small error, AbbVie might be the best stock and Merck's the worst stock. But our margin of error here is so low that it's hard to really take it seriously. We also have to do deeper and deeper dives. Go into every single drug, patent, etc., really, really deeply and carefully. Okay, so maybe we should look at Johnson & Johnson next.